So today is 4th February 2025 and we are sitting with the ex-CM of Karnataka. What do you have to say about this?
2025, eh? So maybe a blessing in disguise.
Why do you keep winning elections from Bangalore? There are a lot of complaints coming from a lot of people.
See, it is our constituency where we contest for election. People like the representative who are mingling with all the people and all the region, all the culture. It is a victory of secular force over there.
What are the possibilities of the current government in Karnataka completing its full term?
See, somehow they will complete the full term, but they won't have the interest of the people and the society. And I don't think they have got an interest for the development of the Karnataka and the society also. How they try to come into power, same way they struggle to continue in power also till the 5 years.
Do you feel a sense of a great disappointment even in the cadres as well as the senior party members in the Congress?
At least now we are in the defensive place where we can tell the negativity of this running government, and even people are fed up.
So what is this, weird situation that JDS keeps creating? It is very close to Congress sometimes, it is very close to BJP sometimes, and what we are reading and what the newspapers are writing these days about it.
JDS for their existence, they have to join with either one party. And as far as you know, from 2006, when they brought down, it was a shocking news for everyone, secular Janata Dal joining with the BJP. After that, all the people and all the voters also lost their hopes on the secular face of Janata Dal. But when the situation comes, we have to see what is the benefit for the public of the society. We think better than BJP going to power for it will discriminate against the people, divide the society, they will go on corruption. I think better to support this party.
Who are the leaders that we can look up to in terms of youth leaders from Congress? But looking at the fiasco that happened in the youth Congress election that happened and it had to be nullified, all the entire election process, we want to hear from you as an insider what actually happened and why this happened and what is the way forward for us.
Congress has very good leaders in the top level and the second line also. So in second line we have got Priyanka Kharge is there from Gulbarga, Baira Gowda is there from our Bangalore side, Zamir is there, N.A. Harris is there, Tanvir Seth is there. Along that we have got many other like Abhay from Hubli and they're very good. Then from Jamkhandi, our brother is there, Yatindra is there. So from my backward state, our Madhu is there. So there are too many, Dinesh Gundrao is there. It is a process, it's like monitored by their own election commissioner. They have got their own rules and regulations. And one regulation is no MLA should interfere in the elections, for the membership also and for during the election time also. So membership, they had given an opportunity, everyone done membership. So sometimes when the voting is all on online, no OTP and all. So usually what happens, the membership is there, the photo given by the membership time is different and the voting time this photo is different. So they started tallying it because membership I may not be, I go and do 100 of them, out of 10 won't be on the election day.
Okay.
But I'll ask them, because OTP is already come to their mobile, they send them OTP for this one. Anyone will go and vote. So they wanted to scrutinize where that membership is correct and this photo is telling each other. They wanted to go on that. I think they scrutinize it, and once it is done, it will have a good takeoff, I think so.
So there are allegations of interference by the family members of the current government. What do you have to say about this? Because we keep reading about a lot of these things, but the way media functions these days, we don't know what to believe and what not to believe.
Letters are written by the BJP MLAs only. Letters are written by the BJP leaders only to their high command. And it is a clear mention that the family is interfering in this issue. Secondly, there is a big power trip about a big corruption charges, where the family must check by the, not check by RTGS only, it was transferred to their accounts also. And all this appraised by for the state BJP, for the high command. And it is evident. And you see any elections, it is their family members only are taking the lead, not the party president. Party, any by-election you see, the party president takes a decision and he doesn't sit there and work. It is obviously done by the family members. So this all shows what the allegation made by the BJP members may be true.
What is Congress' stance on the current farm laws situation that is created in Delhi?
Congress always doesn't like everything politicize these things, one, for their own benefit of the party or for vote. But Congress is against this law because it's anti-national, it's anti-farmers. Which is anti-farmers, is anti-national also. And we can see in very clear cut white, in black and white only. And you see when the BJP government, not now, when they had come first time only, they made a law where if any businessman or any industrialist, if they need the land for the development, immediately anyone can, the government can take. It was protested by the Congress at that time. Rajiv Gandhi, Rahul Gandhi take the initiative. In Ramlila Maidan, big protest was there. Then the government got fear. Then they changed it. Because now the law is if anyone wants a land for the development, 1:3.
1:3.
One thing, the value should be given 1:3. And if there are 100 people for that land, total land, more than 51% should agree. Then only they can
Take the land.
Take the land. So today, if anyone common man gets, if one coconut tree is gone for the development of road or anything by the government, if he's getting 21,000, that is because of Rahul Gandhi. Other it was they had to fix for 27,000 was there. In that, anyone can go and take paddy rice. Now who procures? Food Corporation of India procures. Then they send to all the state and they give through the our PDS, Public Distribution System, as a Food Security Act. Now every private person has given opportunity, then where the food company in India will get?
Correct.
Tomorrow this ultimately affect the PDS system only. Third thing is, see, they keep, big industrialists and big people, they have kilometers of godowns. They stock the things. And when the price rise is high, then they leave to the black market on the issue. When I was a food minister, the tur dal was very costly. Suddenly it is 200, 250 and all. Once we went to a supermarket, there they mentioned MRP is 300, selling rate 200. We put a case against him. Selling 300, how you are giving for 200? How loss you are going to give this? Then he came and he told these things. He was very frightened. He came and told this is issue. Then we called all the APMC people. We asked how much we can give. They said we'll give for 130. Next day, we announced in paper everywhere, whoever wants tur dal, you can go to Taluk and district level APMC, you will get it for 130.
130.
Within one day, what was 200 or 300 maximum to selling supermarket, the rate came to 120. And economic terms from Delhi people asked, throughout India it is more, how did you control in Karnataka? It was a simple action by the government, putting a case on the supermarket, one, and putting this tur dal openly to the market in APMC. Before that, when Congress was government only, there was a rule, as a farmer, I can go take my things anywhere and I can sell it. There's a rule that the traders can't go to the farmers.
Okay.
If the traders start going to the farmers, one or two intellectual farmers may know the things what's going on. There are so many farmers, small farmers are there. They go direct. They don't know what is the market price today. I agree. See, all the laws or any program given by Congress was opposed by BJP every time, from long time, from the computerization, from giving vote for the youngest students from 18 years,
Correct.
from getting color TV and TV to India, and from whatever program for the benefit people was bought, everything was opposed from Mandal Committee, reservation for the backward, this thing says, you know. And regarding what the laws they have bought, see, Congress when they are formed, they see it doesn't hinder the development of any farmers. The name may be same, but these have changed a lot of rules.
Okay.
When they say, see, if I'm a farmer, if I got a problem, I don't have right to go and for the complaint.
Correct.
I had to go to DC. Any farmer from the village will go in for DC level. Why can't they give it in the Taluk level or low level? That is not there. That is there. Hoardings, there is no power to raid these people who are black marketers. Now there is a right to, we can go and, so there are a lot of gold on Tumkur, you can see. And we have got right to go and raid there. In this act, there is no road for the government to go and raid these things. So see, the laws, Satyam, which is, the name is the same, which we are supposed to change. But they did entirely for this business, traders people. GST is the best policy and worstly implemented, which will affect the economy in the days to come.
We have seen.
And demonetization also, see, immediately what Manmohan Singh said, it's a historical blunder. Legalized loot and a monumental error. Whatever rules or laws, they should discuss with the opposition, discuss with the intellectual, discuss with farmers, and if any suggestion is given and any grievance, the government should listen to them. Why these farmers are sitting there and there so many death takes place, they are on that road, if there is not so much problem for them. It is the public who are protesting that. So the government should understand pain. Why can't they call, sit, discuss, and they go forward in the days to come? The government will clearly give confidence to the farmers. We will never get any law which will have a problem to you and which will problem this country. This is the duty of the central government to convince the farmers. Let them stop the law now and call them, discuss, then change it. That's what they can do.
What is your idea of development?
Main development should be give urban programs to the village. When we provide urban facilities for the rural areas, no people will leave their village and come.
Your recommendation for any future governments also that come or the current government is try to make our livelihood safe and secure in the village itself, in my hometown also.
Yes.
Because I too feel that it is my it is very unfortunate that we have to migrate.
Why will migrate? When we don't have facilities in my place, then only will migrate. Other will never migrate.
Stay away from my homeland and work somewhere else.
Other than no one will migrate for this one.
I keep saying this, and I really wish you come back to power and we start implementing these things. That would be lovely for us. If you see what happened yesterday and day before yesterday, the famous pop singer Rihanna, Greta Thunberg, these people have tweeted with the hashtag Farmers Protest in India. So do you think that the monster that the BJP has created to get into power is coming back to bite them now?
Maybe, but see, BJP not only in the social media, whatever opportunity is there, they try to encash it very soon. Maybe in societies, maybe Milk Federation, maybe in other local bodies.
Do you have any friends or connections or very good social circle in BJP? So do you never ask them these questions that how does BJP get so much of confidence that they will be in power till 2030 and all that, the years and numbers that they say that next 10, 15 years it's only?
See, these they are told from not now. That when they tell, we make fun of them. Because we said when Vajpayee ji came as a Prime Minister and they ruled for 5 years, everyone thought next shining India they bought, everything they'll come back to power.
Yes.
And not only Iswan, even the few of the Congress leaders, so they also miscalculated. Because in the election went together, SM Krishna ji is government and central Government went for election together. Many of the MPs, they thought we won't come back to power in center again. They resigned and they contested for MLA. They thought they will come back in state, so they can be ministers here. When the result came, we lost here and we won in central, then before 10 years.
We are scared at most of the times talking to people, having conversation or even standing in the public that anytime any kind of a mob, a crowd will come and they will start beating us. And what is this Hindu-Muslim thing that has been going on for such a long time, and especially I would name the party because of the BJP and the various their own proxy organizations like Bajrang Dal or Vishwa Hindu Parishad and RSS. They should understand that there are a lot of things that were 2000 years ago said, different systems, different people, different culture. It needs to now change. Do you think that it is something very important?
See, no religion has taught hatred. And in history, in our complete, when you take from 2000 or 5000, there is no fight between what you say, Hindu God or Muslim God or Christian God. BJP are creating a psycho-fearness among the community so that some danger is there for their religion. Actually, even they know nothing is there. So always we say, when Congress ruled for 30 to 70 years, there was no problem for any community.
Even now
B-
we
ah,
don't have any problem.
now also, but BJP, after BJP coming to power, they say Hinduism danger. So who is responsibility? These people only. And they know only through hatred they will get the votes. They can come to power. That's what Muhammad al-Jinnah also did.
Yes.
What Muhammad Jinnah did when we read our history books, he said Congress is not supporting Muslims, Congress is not supporting Muslims, and he isolated the mindset of the Hinduism, Muslims, and he divided India. Same thing these are doing now. They want to divide, and they want to come to power, they want to loot. This is the only agenda the BJP has got.
What are views of the Congress party on one nation, one election grand
See,
scheme that is being brought up?
I don't know what this idea, this thinking also. It is like keeping step for the sky. From where to keep we don't know, and where to reach. Theoretically it looks good, but is it possible? Once we can do, okay, once we can postpone everything, once we can do. After in one state, how this our MLAs have gone 17 people, if they leave the party,
What?
he has to resign.
Yes.
Automatically election should take place. We can't keep a assembly constituency for 1 year with the officers only, administrator, without a representative there. Who will approach the people? Can the common people approach an administrator and officer? And whether he'll think on the line of a common people's pulse, whatever wants he'll do. Again, so because in India, in some other country, okay, in India, we have got a different culture. We have demography and geography. So what is in Tamil Nadu is not in Karnataka. What is in Karnataka is not in Punjab. In India, we have got more regionality is there. According to the region, it goes. So when we got independence, yes, once all the elections were together. Then suddenly one government fell down. So I turned within 6 months, election took place, to take place. Someone expires, MLA. The election took.
It has to take place.
Some MP expires. By-election should take place. In any one government, the hung parliament has come. And there is no
Majority.
measure for anyone. Can we go for by re-election? We can't go for re-election, no?
Correct. Sir, is there a change in the generation that you were and in the generation that is coming up, and even my generation, that you were the people who will be hiding behind a 6 feet man, and now we are a generation who is hiding behind a 6-inch screen. Is that the difference?
That also will be there. See, we can't blame only youth also. The situation also is same. Best culture can be transferred to our children is from their grandmother and grandparents. Because mother and father, they'll be busy. They won't mingle too much with the children also. Who will mingle? It was grandmother. They tell old stories.
So the human to human touch is something
That is,
you,
yes, that is as less.
okay.
And that patience, they don't know, get panic suddenly. They don't have that patience. They get fear, and they don't believe each other. Because opportunity was not given for them, and they don't know the other, their culture, mixing of the culture is less. So this all we have to get before within our family only. This we can't get in school or in books. We can't get.
The villains of yesterday, now I don't find them the villains of yesterday. I do find that Aurangzeb was one of those leaders, one of those rulers who, destroyed a few temples but protected a lot of temples. The same case with Tipu Sultan. Tipu Sultan was one of those, nobody can take away the credit that he is a respected freedom fighter. People can deny it, they can keep denying it. But the fact is, one of the only leaders from a different religion who protected so many prestigious matas here in Karnataka was this gentleman. But now there is a wave of thought process that wants to take away the credit from Tipu Sultan and Aurangzeb and project them as the villain. this entire idea of winning elections by declaring that 80 to 90 crore people of Hindu religion are victims. Do you subscribe to it? And if you don't subscribe to it, how do you want to counter it?
Regarding Tipu Sultan, I think no one can change his identity today or tomorrow. When you come to cross through Devanahalli, you see that fort. If anyone asks whose fort is that, they will tell it's Hyderabad and Tipu Sultan's fort. You go to Srirangapatna, to anyone in how many years there also, again what they will say. And when you go to Sringeri temple, it is written on the stone there, and no one can change there. Mangalore Kollur temple, there is a Salam Puja daily evening 6 o'clock. The name of that prayer only Salam Puja. That prayer is offered in the name of Tipu Sultan. Because if you ask them why you are doing this puja, because of Tipu Sultan, in the name of Tipu Sultan is daily, even now also. So ultimately no one can change, and there is how much if that was, there is no loss for Tipu. If anything is there, it's a loss for our younger generation, where they don't know the history, and they don't know in those what has happened, which is given to one cultural binding between the communal, religious binding between the people. And you see, whenever in Mangalore and all, whenever you go, you see this Firangi is there, no, that is kept on the road. When it was small, only they should have said Tipu Sultan's what was kept. So no one can, I think no one can change these things.
Thank you so much for giving us so much of your time. And our message to you is, sir, we just don't know what to say when we look at you, and the way humility is in you, the way you talk to us and the way you treat us it is very, very humbling. And this is the message that I want to give to all the people, that you don't know, I'm actually sitting with an ex-cabinet minister, and the humility is something that we need to learn from him. We need to have it in our life in every aspect. Thank you so much, sir.
And I thank you, this One India digital channel also, for giving opportunity to express my views. And I am sure and hope in future days also, your dedication and work, I think will bind India together for the better development and a peaceful society.
Thank you, sir. Thanks for encouraging.
Thank you.